Thank you for watching this productivity video tutorial. The content is an important component of drone mapping aimed at roads, corridors, transmission lines, highways, that is, a linear mapping that can have a large extension, but a very narrow width, type 30 to 60 meters, and it uses its own tools to draw. But here what is sought are free or economic alternatives for those looking to start making income with our drones. The tool is the Q Ground Control. We have to click File, and here is the option Corridor Scan. We used this survey the other time, which is the normal mapping, but this time, this is the tool. Click on Corridor Scan, which is the linear map, and here we have the option Basic, Trace. We go in Basic. I clicked on Basic, and it comes out previously define this parameter of the corridor map. So here's the definition of the width, no need for turnaround, the normal procedures here of overlap, side lap, and also the camera, which I've already explained that you would have to put the camera of your drone. You can save this as a preset. Saved in KML. It gives that error when trying to save in KML, and what you have to do, in the same way as the other, remove the takeoff and a second runner that you have here. So once you set that here, save the component here in KML, and you can save it, because we have to do a cleanup, then save it here. I'm going to save this here as before the cleanup, saved as before the cleanup. Import this by Google Earth. So here it is, before the cleanup. Once clicked here on the file exported by Q Ground Control, we have here Google Earth to take some parameters that have no need, because we will prepare this, both to import by Lychee, as well as to import by DroneLink. Just save it here in KML, come here KMZ, change to KML, save, and here we have that is all we need. Export the clean KML to be imported by Lychee, and then just open FlyHub. So let's go now there in Fly Lychee to do the import, and also to adjust the altitude. Mission Hub. Import, select the file. Clean. Okay. We have the points here, so let's adjust that altitude. And how do we do it all at once? Select a waypoint. Select another waypoint by holding down Control. Here appears the batch settings. Select all, OK. And then we're going to change the altitude. Altitude in this case here, 50 above the ground. Apply. All points have been changed. So, what do we have to do now? Adjust the interval. Adjust the interval here. Now we're going to adjust the range, and the interval in Q Ground Control is 3.9 seconds to each photo. So, we will, in the case here, start from that point. So, here we are already selected, 3 per second. Right now here. Let's also put a negative gimbal command. 90, right? I usually also leave 5 seconds here and hold. Which is a wait until the gimbal goes down, then select the negative gimbal here, -90. It will already be selected, so the gimbal does not need to do the others, because once the gimbal is with the -90 command here, it will keep until the end. So, the DroneLink is very simple. Let's save this mission. Corridor map. Or linear map. Linear map. Saved. And then you're ready to load the drone and fly. So that's the procedure you need to do. Keep in mind that it will be 50 above the ground from point. In this case here, from that point, with a range of 3.9, which we have there in Q Ground Control, and puts the gimbal down here. So that's Lychee, the Lychee's procedure. And now, let's do the same thing for Drone Link. In the case of Drone Link, basically, we just need these yellow dots, from where they're in the import of Drone Link, we will import as a checkpoint, and then we'll have the coordinates of that point here. Then, open Drone Link, let's click Create, we'll import in this yellow here. In the case of Drone Link, it would be these files here, all of them with checkpoints. This survey doesn't have to. So we're just going to import only the checkpoints into Drone Link. So, here is the import made by Drone Link. He will put here the points and their respective coordinates for the mission to be done. So what do we have to do? Put negative gimbal in the same interval, which we did there. So, here's Drone Link. Then, with the planned mission, let's just adjust the altitude from the first point. Just select the first point and adjust the height. In the case here, 50 meters. 50 meters, Drone Link does not allow to do in batch. So in this case here, it's only 5 points, so adjust the altitude for all points, 50 meters, and then we'll put still the negative gimbal parameter and also the range of 3.7. Basically that's it, it's simple too, like simple as Lychee. So, 50 meters for everyone, right? Do it calmly, I do it fast because I have a certain ease, but follow with a certain calm there, all the points, so 50 meters, correct? It's a few points, they're all here. So what do we have to do? We have to put the negative gimbal to be able to make the shots. So in this case here, I'm going to put automatic capture and then I adjust the interval. I'm going to click here on point 3 and I'm going to activate the automatic capture. It's here, that's photo. And also I'm going to do it in the 5. Because I know on 5, he's going to skip that part here, he's going to go on that line, and on that line. Here's also the automatic shooting of photos. Drone Link, by default, it puts 2 seconds to each photo, so we add here and put the command as it is here, in Q ground control, which is 3.9, then, you add here, an interval command, in the case here of 2, you change to 3.9. So that it is 3.9. Just click here, and go up the arrow here, for it to start from here. So, you clicked on done, and here, you put it 2, in the same way. Automatic capture. That is here. 3.9. Likewise. So, let's select here. This interval here, let's put it in the correct spot here. So, let's do the simulation here and here are the 60 photos. So the mission for Drone Link is already done, and I'm going to name it Corridor Linear Map. It's already here, so the mission is done. Just to check it out. The mission 50 meters. It's going to activate the shooting from here. It's 30 photos here and 30 more photos here. This piece here I didn't select, so, checking here, it starts the 3.9 photo range and it's going to do it up here, then skip that piece, start here and it's going to do until then. So it's a mission of 60 photos, 30 on each side, 7 minutes, and we're going to show, here on Google Earth, and we're going to make the flight. Remembering that Drone Link does not allow you to do, for free, this mission without paying. The Lychee allows you to do by following the terrain, but unfortunately the Drone Link has to do the upgrade to keep up with the terrain. And here it is, 60 photos on each side. And this little bit here I didn't do, 30 here, 30 here, and here is the simulation. It's going to start the photo here. I could put the takeoff point here, but I didn't do it because I had no way to park, so I'm taking off from here. The drone starts and ends the mission here. So let's go there for practice, collect those photos. And I'm going to show you, Drone Link does not allow you to follow the elevation without paying, so the altitude is always from the takeoff point, when you choose, for example, point 2, because here is a low. So he doesn't accept that you do it for the ground level, he'll always want you to upgrade to pay, so he'll always follow that landmark and will fly 50 meters straight. It will fly 50 meters, without following the terrain, you understand? So let's go out there and make the flight, and then we'll process that later. Let's get to practice. The Lychee already goes, takes off now, it will rise for about 50 meters, I accelerated a little the course here of the drone, here the heading could be 180 degrees, but I forgot to align the heading, but no problem because the gimbal is vertical, you see there. And there you have it, making the first 30 photos, and returns, to be able to make 30 more photos, out of a total of 60 photos, of this linear mapping or corridor map, which I show you, which is also possible to do with Lychee. And it ends now, already will do the RTH, I want to show you that the Lychee followed the altimetry, following the height of the terrain. And it's already an RTH, I'm going to close Lychee, and I'm going to open, at the same time, Drone Link, and I'm already going to start Drone Link, in the mission that we already have loaded here, and the drone already starts, it's going to load down the gimbal, as soon as it reaches the beginning of the mission. As planned, -90 at this point there, he lowers the gimbal, and in the case of Lychee you noticed, he goes following the orientation of the takeoff point, here he goes straight, he will maintain a straight horizontal flight, at 50 meters. There the drone returns, it does not do that little stretch and already comes back with a total of 60 photos, and then it's already completing the mission with Drone Link, it will trigger the RTH. And then I already show in the sequence the processing of the images made, here is the Metashape report, the report is nice, and it shows very clearly here the issue of altimetry, especially in this part here, you can see by the coloring. I'm going to go down here a little more, you see here? This red part is the highest part, and this green part is the lowest part. So here's a technical analysis, which shows here in this Agisoft Metashape report. With all the parameters here, to be able to present to the client this result, then the images here, I return showing. Here's the Metashape survey, I'm going to increase here a little bit. So here's the survey done, by Agisoft Metashape, I'm going to zoom in here, you see? So that's the final work I did it with medium quality, there's a lot of other parameters here that you can explore, distance, anyway. The quota part is also important to see, because in road and corridor survey it is important to know, because there are embankments, there are cuts, these things like that from engineering, so our part here is a more practical, superficial part. And that needs to be better studied, also shows here the part of WebODM, which I also processed. Here's the part of WebODM, by the way, in WebODM I did again both, because this here is a cloud processing. And then processes much faster, anyway, I have here the processing done by WebODM, I'll texturize here. And here is the result of WebODM, also very cool program, you can explore, you're seeing here? This is WebODM, has many features here. I did the processing of both, in WebODM, both the part flown with Lychee, and the part of DroneLink. So this one was the Lychee part, and there's the other part here that I also processed on. This part here is from Lychee, and this first one was from DroneLink. I opened both here for you. I'm going to open the 3D model here, so as not to stretch it too far, so here it is, the image processed in WebODM, Pro Lychee, as well as for DroneLink. I hope you enjoy this alternative there, to explore, for free, both in Lychee and in DroneLink, this linear map component. Linear map, or corridor map, is paid version, but I showed here, that you can do it for free, remembering that Lychee does following the terrain, you saw there, I show here again. Notice here that the altimetry goes down here, in the lower left corner, because the reference here, is the reference of the takeoff point, it ends here, 26.30, 26.2, 18 meters down there, so why the reference here, the drone does, keeping the 50 of the point. Anyway, at the point of takeoff, it shows an altimetry of 20 meters, 18 meters, in relation to the point of takeoff, but there at the point of the descent, it is with 50 meters from the point of there. So that's it, another job done by Drone MS Productivity, so you can explore your drone. And this is an alternative for you to make income. A hug and God bless you.